welcome to the Shelley Studio. Today I am working on my 100-day project, which is gel printing landscapes. Just in case you're new, I'm actually on day 41. If you want to see any of the priors, the playlist will be in the description box below. So on this one, for day 41, I am just using craft paint for the most part. I believe that's all I use on this one. Trying to use up my little bottles of craft paint. Some of them are pretty old. And I decided I was up for a change. I wanted to add texture to this one. So the texture plate that I'm using is a spiral. I just used glue on a piece of chipboard and let it dry. And I've been using it for a while, so it's built up some paint, which is a good thing. And yeah, I just use it over and over again, let it dry, wipe it off if it's too globby, but don't wash it. I mean, it's on cardboard, so don't want to wash it. So this next layer, also using the same craft paint. I think they're Deco Arts. There might be a Craft Smart and Folk Art in there. Just a little peachy color, some of the blue, and add purple. We'll make them Purple Mountains Majesty. This one, I'm using a different one. I just did glue dots. That stamp doesn't work as well. I mean, it doesn't look as good as the spiral, but if you're just going for some overall texture, it works great, and it worked good for this one, I think. This one's kind of fun. After I pulled it, I'm like, texture might be a bit overwhelming. I might circle around to this and do some texture stamping, but maybe not every single layer. There I was just trying to decide which end was the bluest and put that up in the sky area. That's all I was doing. And it looks real faint. It is fairly light, but the picture, it shows it a little bit darker, so you might be able to see more of the texture on there. So yeah, just now I've got mountains on there. I'm going to put maybe a field of green, so I'm just grabbing this one. I believe is Craft Smart, and it might be emerald, and then adding some more of the blue. I'm just trying to make the colors coordinate, so I'm do what they call a bit of the mother, which is you pick a mother color and you include it in all the other colors in your painting, and that makes them more cohesive. I just kind of included all of them, like the peach and the blue in each of the layers, except for the very last one, which this is not the last one. So I've got to make it straight, and it's really hard when you're sitting at an angle and not straight above it to get that really straight. So it's a little rounded. I think I got them fairly even on both sides that time. And just picking that up. That one, I think I stamped a little spiral on there, but you can't really see it. It's going to get mostly covered up anyway by this next layer, which figured we'd put some pink flowers in the foreground. So I am adding a little of the blue and a little of that peachy color to the pink and just mixing it in, but it's really mostly pink. And then I'm just going to come in here and stamp it. What do I use? I use the dot thing and just smush it all over. So it looks like flowers, right? Anyway, how are you today? I hope you're doing well. It was a good day today. Nice weather. I'm liking that. Still cool, but not too cold and not snowing anymore. So we're always happy about that. I'm not looking forward to yard work. we have a really big yard and our sprinkler system is not working, so yeah, I have to do that manually 3 times a week. That's fun. All right, so I'm using all the same colors, but this one is just going to be the smush and print version of this. And yes, I did do these 2 on the same day, cheated. So this is day 42. And this one doesn't really look like a landscape, but I'm counting it. I have 100 of these to do, so yeah, I'm counting it. I do add the circly texture, the spiral stamp into that. Speaking of that spiral stamp, I watched a video recently. Carrie the Crafter, if you've ever watched him, he's a fun one to watch. He does a lot of gel printing. He has created himself a spiral. Looks really nice. I did not see how he made it, but I think I can figure it out. So I'm going to try and create one of those. So this is a nice, crisp, clean spiral. Anyway, so there's that one. It's kind of ishy, right? Landscape-ishy. All right, so I've been thinking about this for a while. This is day 43. And I thought I would give it a try. This is quinacridone, I believe. This is quinacridone nickel azo gold. I do it in the nickel azo gold, and I also do it in the transparent red iron oxide. And I honestly can't tell which one's which. I didn't do them on the same day. And they're both golden tube paints, so I'm not positive. The idea is to do a monochromatic landscape, stacked landscape, mountains. And it's transparent, so I figured I could do the same color, layer it, and get it to go darker and darker and darker. Well, it works to a point. But not as strong as I thought it would. And this is going to pick up some of that spiral stuff that was still on the plate from the day before. But I think that just makes it more interesting. So this is the second layer of the same color, and I'm pretty sure it's the quinacridone nickel azo gold. So just put in the same color, and you can see that it's darker, right? I mean, it's logical. It's going to get darker for each layer. So I do this a 3rd time. So I wanted to do like 3 or 4 mountain lines. Is it mountain lines? Mountain ridges? And so here is the second mountain ridge line. I think that's what it's called, a ridge line. And apparently there is a density level where it doesn't get much darker. So that one I felt like was really faint. So this time I'm going to take the paint and add a little bit, I think it's burnt sienna. It's just some Liquitex paints. They're getting a little cottage cheesy. I need to use those up too. I should do a gel printing session using those up a bit. And I'm just mixing it in with the quinacridone and hoping, now it's not a darker color, but it's not as transparent. So it's got a little bit more, what would you call that, pigment density? I don't know. But it's more opaque, so it's going to stand out. And yes, I'm giving it a good massage. I want to make sure I got it all. See, so that one stands out much better than the last one. Now I want to do one more layer, so I put out the quinacridone, this and a little bit of the burnt or burnt sienna. Sorry, I'm not sure which one that is, and I can't read the label from here. I think it's burnt sienna. Anyways, I add just a touch of purple. Dioxazine, probably. Purple. Just to make it even darker. I didn't want to add black. So I just do this, and I think it makes it dark enough. Just wiping off the excess, making my mountain ridge. I don't want weird things happening in the sky. I have that on a few prints if you look closely. On the kind that I create the mountains with the baby wipe. So there it is. Yeah, I like that. I do have other transparent colors, so I will be coming back to that technique a couple of times. Oh, I wonder if it would work with micaceous iron oxide. I don't know about that paint. It's so gritty. I don't know. I like the smooth stuff. And those prints come out really smooth. So this one, sorry, I think the camera stopped running. I just put some blue. I think it's ultramarine blue by Golden, and I'm not sure which green that was, just to create, kind of a grassy hill in the distance. And now I'm adding some brown. This is just some craft paint, actually. I'm an equal opportunity paint user. I will mix the good stuff and the cheap stuff on the same print. Whatever works, right? And here we're going to create the bank on the other side of the lake. So that's what that's supposed to look like. Now, to make that look like water, I'm trying to use up my craft paint. I feel pretty good. I actually tossed a bottle the other day. It was empty. And yeah, I'm just adding ripples in the water so that it looks like water, and I'm having a hard time keeping that straight. So the ripples are going a little bit of an angle. That's all right. I don't know. Maybe I get carried away with those. I like doing them. I think I end up putting too many in sometimes, though. And I just grabbed a little bit of, I believe this is green gold. I'm not 100% on that. But just a little bit of green. It could be a craft paint green, actually. Doing the Bob Ross style right there, where you just highlight the edges of the green to make it look like grasses in the foreground here. Yeah, and that is day 44. Can you believe it? We are almost halfway done through the 100-day project. Very exciting. Just giving that a little bit more highlights. Felt like it was way dark and needed to know that it was grass. That's what I'm going with anyway. Okay, so this one I could see the label. This one is the quinacridone. The other one was the transparent red iron oxide from Golden. They're both Golden brands. Yeah, I think it's pretty funny that I think quinacridone is my favorite for a lot of reasons, and I couldn't tell it apart from the other one. I don't know. All right, so we are going to try layering this one, doing the transparent layers, and this is day 45. I came back to it. I wanted to try all my transparent colors, so I decided to do this again. And this one, I do put in as many mountain ranges, but they are a lot harder to see the layers. Well, the first one's not. You'll see it. And yeah, apparently I had to give it a good massage. So there's the first layer. And then doing my second mountain ridgeline. And my baby wipe is not getting things clean enough. All right. I'm going to print this one down, and it is invisible. Well, maybe you can see it. I mean, you can see it, just not really. Do you see it? I pointed to it in case you missed it. So I'm going to do the same thing I did a couple days ago, where I mix the quinacridone with another color. And this is the burnt sienna. I'm just going to mix it in and make it a little bit more opaque and help it to stand out. And I think I put a lot more of that on this one. And in fact, when I'm wiping, I'm creating a little bit of a ridge of thicker paint. I'm trying to dab it off a little bit because there's some real ridges there. But when I print it, there's a dark edge on some of the areas of the mountain line. And that's because the paint was thicker there. You'll be able to see it in the photo a lot better than with me flipping it around like that. But so now I'm going to do the last mountain ridge line. And I think I add a little bit of purple like I did with the other one, the Micaceous. And it looks pretty dark. It looks pretty good, right? And again, creating my ridgeline. Paint is, again, a little bit thicker, so it's going to leave a little extra in those areas where the paint's a little thicker. And this one, maybe it needed more purple. I'm not sure, but it's hard to see that bottom one. Can you tell the difference between the two? The one from 2 days ago and this one? Color-wise? I'm not sure. See how you can see the little shadows on the peaks? That's the extra paint. Okay, so day 46. I know we've got a lot of them today, but they're simple ones with not a lot extra happening. So this is Green Gold by Golden. It's a fluid paint, so it's really loosey-goosey. In fact, it's almost a high flow. It's pretty fluid, so I do the first layer. And I got a crack line. I'm not sure why, but I'm going to turn it around so that's on the bottom and will get hidden, hopefully. And then we're going to roll out the first mountain ridge line. We'll make these mountains a little peaky. And this one I end up only doing 2 mountain lines on there. And making them a little bit more round. I guess they're green hills. And I really thought this would work the same way as the other ones worked. And it kind of does, but it's a lot fainter. See how that's a lot fainter? So I wasn't sure how I would, what I would mix with it, so I didn't. I just go ahead and do the next mountain or hill, and we're going to print it. Make sure to give it a good massage. Probably doesn't need that much, but there I printed it. So what I decided to do was go back in with a paintbrush, and using the exact same paint, I'm just going along the outline of the mountain and kind of feathering it in a little bit so that it shows up. So that's what I did with that one. And 46 is the last one for today. What do you think of this idea where you layer transparent colors all the same? Kind of interesting. Has potential. Like if I did a lot of trying things out, I might end up with something a little bit more successful. I don't know. I may, like I said, I may circle back to this. I don't know. We'll see. I don't really have any other really transparent colors. I mean, most of mine are semi-transparent, but yeah. And this one is just a sample bottle. See how small that bottle is? Anyway, what did you think? Let me know. Love to hear your comments. If you liked my video, please hit the like button. And thank you, 22 Club, for sticking it out with me. I appreciate you, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.